Proportionality rights is an idea that there may be beings who might not be completely or formally eligible for rights, but the qualities that they have, whatever they might be, might be so close or continue moving so close to the lines that are drawn that perhaps they might not be entitled to the rights in full, but maybe they should be entitled to proportional rights. So if they are 95% of the way towards whatever quality is required for rights, well, perhaps they should get 95% of the rights, or they should get narrower rights, or they should get somehow smaller rights, or they should get there should be areas in which they shouldn't have rights. So, for example, a chimpanzee might have a right to bodily integrity or bodily liberty, but you wouldn't have the right to vote, or wouldn't have the right to free speech, or wouldn't have the right to practice religion. So it'd be kind of a smaller number of rights. Or a chimpanzee might have a right to bodily liberty, and that would be vindicated by not by just simply opening the door of a zoo and saying "see ya," because that would not work, but by saying the kind of right you would have would be the right to be kept in a place in which that's big enough for you to be able to live out your chimpanzee life. But we certainly just can't put you in the streets of Portland, Oregon, and say "see ya," because you would soon be killed. So they would have different rights, or smaller rights, or somehow rights that differ in scope from the rights that a human being has who's normal. And we already have them now. Children have proportional rights. People who are insane have proportional rights. People who have Alzheimer's disease have proportional rights. People who are close to the line, or they may not be that close to the line, but people begin approaching to varying degrees a line of in which someone would have almost an unlimited number of rights, but for one reason or another, society deems it inappropriate for them to have the full panoply of rights. So they have rights in proportion to the degree in which they approach kind of a normal panoply of human rights. One idea of children, for example, is that they might have a right to bodily liberty, bodily integrity, but while if you're doing something wrong, I probably couldn't go up and give you a whack. I might be able to give my kid a whack, saying, "God, stop that!" But if I did that to you, that's a different sort of thing. So children might have proportional bodily integrity rights with respect to their parents. They might not have the same rights to free speech. I might be able to say almost anything I want to say, but the government couldn't do anything about it. But in fact, I think in 2007, within the last month, there was just a United States Supreme Court case that came down that said high school students simply did not have the same sort of free speech rights. So the high school student held up a sign that said something like "Bong hits for Jesus," and was disciplined for that, was able to be disciplined for it, while I could hold up a sign that says "Bong hits for Jesus" and I wouldn't have that problem. The thing about proportionality rights is that they are real rights. You might be insane and have to be confined in a mental institution, or you might lose the right to vote because you're insane. But that doesn't mean you're a thing who's lost all of your rights. You're not. You simply had your rights truncated in some way, fewer rights in some way that have been truncated because of the fact that you're either a danger to yourself or it's just in some major way not appropriate for society. So you have fewer rights, but you have rights that have been cut down in a way that still leaves you as a legal person, not as a legal thing. You're not owned by anybody and you're not a slave. You just have fewer rights either for your good or for the good of the world at large.